Can you just say your full name?
My name is Janja Margeson.
Okay. And what languages do you speak fluently?
I speak fluently Croatian, German, English, Swiss German, and Italian a little bit.
And can you just say, hi, how are you doing? How's your day been? Something like that in any of the languages? Maybe Croatian?
Okay, in Croatian.
Yeah.
Hello, Eli, kako si? Jesi dobro? Nadam se da si imala lijep dan.
All right. Can you explain a little bit about how you culturally identify?
So I culturally identify as a Croatian. Although I was born in Yugoslavia, the Croatian identity was embedded in Yugoslavia. So when the country separated, I get a Croatian passport.
And that's because, you're Catholic, or is that just because of, geography, where you were?
Yes, I'm also a Catholic, but also because we are Croats.
Okay. And then can you briefly explain how the split of Yugoslavia and how it affected you while living in Bosnia?
You mean when I lived in Bosnia?
Yeah. And just what that looked like for you, like the split of Yugoslavia.
Okay, so I was born at the time in Yugoslavia, and we grew up in a culture where we did have a multi-religious, multi-cultural people. So when I was going in school, I was going in school also with Croats, Serb, and Muslim.
Mm.
I did have also from different religions also friends.
Mm-hmm.
And we did not really look who is who. We was just basically Yugoslavian.
Yeah. Okay. So what role did media play when you lived in Bosnia? Was it important? Was it used? How did you use it?
Media was at the time we did have a news that would be common on a radio and on a television. Mm. And on the radio, we would have, for example, 7:30 till 8, we will have a news, national news, and they will be talking about what is happening at the time in the country and also what is happening in the world.
Okay. What newspapers or channels did you read or watch?
Newspaper, I would don't remember what I was reading, what they called. There was mostly for young people. And then media, we was watching, like everybody, young people, we watch radio televizija, Belgrade, and Zagreb, and other channels. Mm. Also, we did have a Hungarian program that they will be coming and broadcasting stuff, German also stuff, also in German language, and some Italian. Mm. We was watching movies and sports and cultural stuff and music and stuff like that.
And do you remember any of the other large media outlets, any of the names?
Like I said, there was RTL Belgrade, and RTL Zagreb. Then was Skopje, Ljubljana, Sarajevo, and then the other German, Italian, I think Rai, Italy or something called.
Okay, would you say that generally the media was trusted by the people?
At that time, yes. They was pretty much just talking about what's happening in a country and outside the world, yes. Okay. We could say.
Was there any particular reason that you chose to watch, like, the news or the media that you chose, or was it just what was popular at the time?
That's what was literally what was playing on the television.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I mentioned those channels specifically also because they was played specifically on a certain nights, and also, for example, the television from Germany we watched because I learned also in a school German, and was good for me kind of to practice listening and learning German as well. And Italian, well, also back then, say for Yugoslavia, we did have certain regions, for example, Croatia, where it's the northern, where my family, well, where we originally, how I can say it, where we are from, they have Italian television, because this region was once upon a time also under Italy. I forget to mention also, and also Bosnia, where also where I grew up. They also are, that was also under Austro-Hungary, and they still have a tradition to have some German channels like news and stuff that will be common in German language. And plus was good for me to watch this channel so that I can do better learning German. And then, like I said, Italian was broadcast mostly over by the Adriatic Sea, because this region was also once upon a time, well, not a long time ago, but there was, before World War II, there was part of Italy, and lots of people spoke Italian, so they kind of have also television from Italy. And then from different part of countries, like Serbia, they did have Romania, Bulgaria, also Hungarian channels, like Macedonia, they have also from Greece, part of Kosovo, they did have also Albanian channels, because also of the same language, and similar stuff for the people to associate with kind of culture and what's going on. So yeah, that's why we have those channels, and that's why I also like to watch German television, Italian television, and some Hungarian television, so that we can learn language, and plus so to kind of be part of this world too.
Mm-hmm. How has receiving news about current events in Bosnia or Croatia changed for you since moving to the U.S.?
Now it's totally different. Now it's pretty much everything westernized, Europeanized. So there are so multi-channels, everything is digitalized. And they still have some channels that they are locals, but mostly people can watch whatever they want to watch, like CNN, BBC, Fox News, sports, Netflix, everything like what they can watch in here.
So you'd say the development of technology has completely changed the way that news has been shared for you?
Yes.
That's correct. United States really don't talk much about Bosnia on the news. Not in some extent of talking what's happening on a daily basis, but if it's of course something that is drastically happened, like some earthquake or something really big news, then I hear on American news. Mostly news from Bosnia, I hear is from private media, like Facebook and TikTok and Instagram, and following some channels. That's mostly how I hear about news in Bosnia.
Okay, so then just sorry, you can go.
Plus we have now the modern technology that we could go and pay for channels also from a European country. And then specifically we can pay for Balkan, which Balkan mean whole ex-Yugoslavia. And then they give you also those channels like German channels and Italian channels and some other channels. And that's how also I could watch news through those what is called paid program.
All right. What do you think is what do you think currently is like the most important news story going on inside of Bosnia or Croatia, either one?
I would not know for sure. I know in Croatia is also television. What is it called? RTL, I think, Croatia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Radio Televizija Zagreb, maybe. Yeah, Zagreb. Something like that. I'm not sure.
Yes, that broke news a couple of days ago that I was not aware of that stuff either, but maybe for the reason that I did not live over there. But I also through the media, I hear a lot that people say that that really happened. And basically that rich Italians and potentially some other rich country people paid money like a 90,000 euro per person to go and shoot them, basically to, like they call hunting, but they did not hunt them. They just was like snipers. And then when they see people walking on the street or running, probably to hide from attacks, so they will be going and try to shoot them. And then that they said that they even targeted children, and they even pay much more for the targeting kids and killing the kids. So I did not hear this on American news yet, so I don't know if this will come up or not. But definitely that's the news that is in Bosnia, all over Balkans and all over the Europe, that some Italian people who was at the time with those group of people that they basically told the secret. And now people in Bosnia are really upset about it, and also they are upset because most of those people cannot be even punished because lots of them are probably dead because of the age and all that stuff. And then of course, lots of stuff I read or hear about sports, specifically about soccer. Right now is the soccer season because they are fighting for the world sports to be playing next year here in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. So I'm following as well Bosnian, Croatian, and Serbian sports. And same also, I'm following like what is happening in the region where as of 10 years ago, my family and we bought an apartment in a town not far from my mom's house so that we can go over there and visit. So I follow the news from there, and then like what is happening over there, also the weather-wise, sport-wise, and specifically also some major news, like if there's some bad weather happening, like lots of time we have over there that some bad storm comes and ruin like everything. Like 14 years ago, they did have much bad weather that was raining for a few days, and they have two major river, like a river Sava that is in between. Matter of fact, it's right on like a border in between Bosnia and Croatia, and a river named Bosnia. And they flooded, and they flooded so much that people was fighting for their life to escape the water in a very short time. Also, this region, particularly the one part of the Bosnia where my mom is from, they are basically flat, and that's well, mostly this weather occur, and they have lots of crop over there, like they make so much of produce so much say peppers and tomatoes and salads and green beans and all of this stuff, plus the corn and wheat and tobacco and whole kinds of stuff they produce over there, that sometime like last year when we was over there, we did have a temperature that was literally 40 Celsius, which was like 100, almost over 100 degrees, which is also on here for this region. I mean, we have a hot summer, but this was like a tropical, I mean, this was like an African summer. And people did not have rain, and lots of those crop was destroyed because there is not enough rain. And so, yeah, that's why I'm kind of listening what's happening over there for this reason as well. Not that I have a personal interest, but just I feel kind of bad for the people when they work so hard and then they lose everything at the end. Then, like 3 years ago, they did have such a bad weather that we have a so bad hail that destroyed people's houses, like roofs. I mean, people have a brand new roofs that they was destroyed by the hail. Particular also, we happened to be there, and we was at one of my cousin's wedding that we have our car left. I mean, day was absolutely gorgeous. By 7:30 probably at evening, started raining, thundering. By 8 o'clock was so much hail that there was bigger, almost like a tennis balls. And when we came out, we did not even notice. But next day, and the break on the news that our cars was so damaged. And when we look our car was so damaged by the hail. This was absolutely ridiculous.
Do you think that current events are like accurately portrayed in like Bosnia or Croatia? Like what, like when things are like going on, are they being accurately portrayed in the news?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So you think that there's like fake news being reported?
Yes, depends. Same like here. Depends what channel you watch and who they are. You know, on say Democratic or I don't want to say Republican because they don't have Republican, but you know, like what has been here. So they have over there too. So depends who they lean to. So sometimes they just say stuff that is not true.
Sure. Okay, so is there anything that you liked about mass media in Bosnia and Croatia?
At the time, yes. They would be good about sports. They would be good, you know, about telling, you know, what's happening in outside the world, you know, outside the country. Also, what's happening in the country.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff that they would say was pretty much accurate and true. Maybe sometimes a little bit maybe escalated to a little bit higher point. But in between then and now, I have to say there is a different scenario. Now they are talking more what they are told to say it. Before was maybe a little bit, but not so much. But I have to admit also my family like to watch also those channels and specifically like news and all that stuff, so that like I said, that we are informed what's happening in a country and around us and the world. I would, unfortunately, I would not be able to name one single reporter. I would not be able to remember. This happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yes, like I said, we was watching, mostly was Radio Televizija Belgrade, which is called Radio Television Belgrade. So, because Belgrade was a capital of Yugoslavia at that time, so we would be watching mostly this channel. And then, like I said, Sarajevo and stuff. Sarajevo comes more popular after war because when all of those countries get split from Yugoslavia, then Sarajevo, of course, is the capital of the Bosnia. So then, of course, they dominantly start monitoring or having television for the Bosnian people. Plus now, of course, pretty much all regions they have. I mean, like Bosnia is split in three parts. There is Bosnian Bosniaks, which are Muslim, and then there is the Bosnian Serbs. That is Republika Srpska, and then of course there is the little part of the Croatian people, and they are dominant Catholics, for example. They are Croats, but they are like people who are born in different country, but they are American. So they are having also their own channels that they are listening to, and so if they don't like, for example, what people say on television of Sarajevo, they will be listening to television of Banja Luka, which is capital for the Republika Srpska, or they will be listening to, for example, Orašje Odžak for part where the Croats, or they will be listening to television of Brčko. Brčko is the district, like a city in Bosnia. So, and people have like a Mostar, which is also capital for the Croatian in Bosnia. So then people have other channels that they will be listening, and then sometimes they will be comparing and see what is really true and what is not.
Mm-hmm. And I actually just came up with another question. Was there anything else, like, so you would watch the news and sports, but were there like TV shows that were on at the time, or were there any that you liked or remembered?
Yes. Well, we would have, for example, 7 o'clock in the evening. I would start from this time because that was most of the time when kids are from schools and after dinners and stuff. So 7 to 7:15, we will have cartoons. That is all American cartoons, of course. So we will have that called Mornar Popeye, which is what is now in English. Of course, now when I need to translate, I cannot. The Popeye,
Popeye.
Popeye, yeah, and Olive and stuff. So, and then we will have a Tom and Jerry. Then we will have English, like what is the Pink Panther, or I believe there was English. Or we will have Smurfs.
Oh, okay.
Smurfs. Yeah, and different types of cartoons. So that we will be, of course, all the kids want to be at that time, done with everything, with homework and dinners and stuff, so that they can watch cartoons. And then from or from 7 to 7:15 or 7 to 7:30. Then 7:30 will be to 8 o'clock, the news, like a national news, what is happening in a country around the world, in a sport, in a weather, in everything. And then 8 o'clock usually will be movies. And mostly movies are, I have to say it, English, American, in English. So they was just translated, so we have to read. So we will be listening English speaking, but we have to read in either at that time was Croatian, Serbo-Croatian. So this was good also for kids to learn English, because over the time people start, especially as a young kids, they start learning English with movies, basically. Mm-hmm. We have so many movies that, my gosh, what was my favorite at that time? That my least favorite was like watching scary movies, and we did have lots of those as well. My probably most favorite was Western movies, probably was Geronimo, something about West, I cannot remember. Oh my gosh. Probably, what is the show? like lots of the old movies from back in the days in England, like kings and queens. Yeah. There was, we did have one show that was played every Sunday, probably for several months, called Sandapan, Tiger of the Malaysia. And the show is basically, I think, from Italy, but they spoke English, and they did have movie stars from India and from Italy and probably some from United States and England. But that was a very popular movie. And then also we watched lots of movies from World War II, in between Germans and at the time Yugoslavian partisans. And then we watched what other shows? Yeah.
That's good.
I don't know.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything that you disliked about the media?
At the time, I would not know difference because at the time I think world, I don't want to say was more peaceful, was of course not peaceful, but I would not know what was truth, what was not.
I did not mind watching news and when they gave us information in the media, because I probably would not even know much if it's some big difference, in telling or not telling the truth. So pretty much we would be believing what they're saying. Like today, I mean, people can say something in the media, and if people don't watch other channels, they would not know difference. They will believe what they are told. And the same with us at that time, I mean, like I said, mostly of the time they would be saying more accurate stuff. Now it's a different scenario. Now sometimes they say something that they hear from different news channels around the world, and then they report this just because somebody told them to say that, even if some other, for example, people watching from other world or from other part of country or from the same, you can watch television from the same town. And if you watch just one channel, you believe what they only that channel said. But then when you listen to different channels, or if you go on different media, or you look through different, like I say, different media, then you will find out different scenario, and then you start questioning, well, what is truth? Did they told the truth, or is this just telling the story what somebody told them to tell the public or audience? So yeah, not that I did not. I mean, like I said, at the time we would not know much of the difference. They was pretty much more honest. But if it's sometimes that they would be exaggerating, that they will say something that is a little bit more dramatic, then again there are newspaper. And then sometimes we will be reading the newspaper also and see if is this really what's happening, or is this what's happening to this point, or they are just making bigger story than it is.
Okay. Do you think that the government of Bosnia plays any roles in the news and media, or do you think it's pretty independent from the government?
They definitely play into they're literally like almost private nice.
Okay. So do you think that the government is actively portrayed then if they control the media?
Yes, absolutely. Even back then, for example, Yugoslavia was a socialistic federation of kind of communistish part of Yugoslavia. So at that time, we did have a President Tito. He was in charge of the whole this region. So of course, they was watching what people saying and how much they're saying. Not saying that they did not say everything was the truth, but controlling what people say and for who they was rooting. Of course, they will be talking positive, and who they don't like, they might be talking a little bit negative. But now, for example, since Bosnia is an independent country, now is different story. Now, definitely, they have also, even if it's not public, is lots of those televised programs are bought by somebody, but they are controlled, and in lots of scenario, I have to say, like what is happening in Serbia. Of course, now that's not talking about Bosnia, but just so that maybe people can see what is happening. Like Vucic is the president for Serbia, and students over there, they was trying to talk to the government about what's happening in a Novi Sad when building collapsed and killed some people, and they tried to get the answer, and president and media did not want to entertain people, and the students start going on a strike and protest. So escalated to the point that the Serbian news went on a television, national television of Serbia, plus also affected in Bosnia because lots of Serbs live in Bosnia, like Republika Srpska. They are same little people. So then they are talking about that those students and the people who was protesting, they was going to throw the government of Serbia, which was absolutely not true. And especially since I also have a relatives over there. And one of my cousin daughter, she's the student in the Serbian, in Belgrade. She is at the university and started literally from her university. And she was one of those people who started with those children to go. And I know for fact what those kids try to do, but televised people and president of Serbia saying, no, that's not true. The truth is that they was going to throw that they tried to turn over the government. And so, yeah, lots of stuff like that happening all around the world, and unfortunately happening over there too. So, I not that I want to bash anybody, but like I said, in Bosnia there are 3 nationalities, and if somebody want to sometimes say something on some type of news or media, it doesn't matter if it's on a radio or on a television. I mean, it doesn't have to be from one television station; can be from different television or radio or newspaper or media like Facebook and stuff. People sometimes say what they like to say and what they like people to hear and what people like not to hear. So, for example, if they don't like somebody, then they will be talking always something negative, just because they want to kind of escalate, like they are either like these people or media who are talking negative about other people to kind of portray themselves like they are maybe better, or the other people are maybe bad, or the people wish each other bad or ill, or like constantly talking since civil war happened some 35 years ago. I'm not saying exact the date, but lots of people are still bitter about it, especially people who lost loved ones in the war from all 3 sides. So people will be talking sometime negative about other people, just so that the people can go to be mad at each other, to saying stuff that is not true, so that people can go and blame each other continuously blaming each other for what's happened, say 35 years ago or so. So, and like again, people then go and then they research or listen to other programs to see if that's really true or not. Last time you find out, yeah, they are just the media are taking this upon self just so that they can go and make people mad to kind of continue with this hate. Mm-hmm. Which people don't like that. People, even, I don't want to say, like everybody has a good and bad people over there too. People like to stay together. Doesn't matter what religion, what race, what language, what anything. Of course, over there is more religion because they are pretty much all basically white. But pretty much because of this religion, people want to be friends with each other and they want to be, live together in a peace, in a harmony. But media sometimes they want to kind of go and perpetrate some bad stuff so that people, the less people who are not informed with other programs and news media and news television news and stuff, that they can go and say, oh, so those people are now hating us and they never like us, or they, we should fight them, or stuff like that. Which that's why I say that media sometimes can be a little bit out of the control. Mm-hmm. I think if they want to report stuff, that they should be reporting what is correct and what is truthful. I'm not saying that they are not. I mean, last time they do report stuff that is accurate, but sometimes they would say something that is not accurate and that is not, I would say that it's not correct. Mm-hmm. Instead, making people against each other, they should be trying to make people to be for each other, not to use platform in media, news and other newspaper and other programs to kind of get people against each other.
What do you think is the biggest misconception that people in the U.S. have about Bosnia?
People are not very aware of Bosnia because, the people who know a little bit about Yugoslavia and Bosnia, they always associate with the civil war that happened over there. And for some reason, in my opinion, they think that this is like a third world country.
Yeah. So do you think that the U.S. accurately portrays Bosnia in the news, or do you think it's like altered because of misconceptions?
Pretty much, I never hear nothing about Bosnia in the news because it's not really that is something major happening over there. But maybe some channels, they say something, I don't know.
Okay. Do you think that the media played any part in the war, like throughout Bosnia, Serbia, and like Croatia?
Yes, very much.
Okay. Are there any differences in news coverage between like the Yugoslavia countries? Like, do you think that there's any differences in news between like Bosnia, Serbia, and Croatia?
Yes. Yeah. For example, if you will be listening to television or the radio at that time about, Croatia, they will be talking, what's happening in Croatia and rooting for Croatia. Of course, then people from Serbia will be talking something about Serbia and what they're doing and why they're doing what they're doing and all that stuff. Same for Bosnia, same for all other countries that was part of Yugoslavia at that time.
So you probably don't think then that Bosnia would accurately portray its neighboring countries?
No, absolutely not.
So how does media differ from when you lived in Bosnia versus like when you visit now? If there's any differences?
Well, like I said, when I lived there as a younger kid, I think there was probably more accurate. Mm-hmm. And less divided.
Yeah.
And now is pretty much similar. They talk about what is happening, but like, of course, it's now our individual countries. So, for example, in Bosnia, I'm sure they are talking about what's happening in Bosnia and what is happening outside Bosnia. So pretty much probably similar.
So Bosnia's global freedom ranking, it's like only partially free. Do you like? Is there anything that you could think of that would contribute to its like lack of freedom, or do you think it would just because of the government's like hold on the news?
They are pretty much free. I mean, they are free, but of course, government also control what they say and how much they say.
Sure. And then, what do you think about like the journalism culture in Bosnia? So like how people report. You like have any thoughts on that?
I have to say that journalism is very popular in Bosnia and Croatia and all those regions. I have to say also mostly of the time from the country, like if it's something that's happening in the country and is accurate, they report accurately. The only that they don't report accurately is when they're reporting like from the outside the country. So sometime one media will be reporting something that I would be seeing that is not correct, and some other people will be seeing that is not correct. And people will be raising their voice and say why they are telling us something that is not true.
Okay. So you've already said that like the U.S. didn't really cover any current events in Bosnia, but do you could you explain what you perceive the relationship between Bosnia and the U.S. to look like?
Bosnia and United States are they are very friendly. So yeah, they. I mean, you as for example, I can have a Bosnian and American citizenship, which as a Croat, I also have Croatian citizenship. So basically, that's good that we all can have good relationship with United States.
Yeah. And then lastly, you've kind of talked about this before, but how does the U.S. News coverage different from Bosnia's news coverage? Which I feel like you've kind of just said, like, it mainly just differs in what they're covering. But do you does that be your final answer? Just like the coverage is just different of like global terms, or?
The news over here is, like I said, if it's just a local news, it's kind of similar. Short and sweet. Basically, they report what's happening. But over here is more. You have a CNN, you have a Fox News, you have a Newsmax, you have different channels that they are talking about. Mostly about politics and what's happening inside the country. They don't have that over there.
Yeah. Okay, now I kind of want to change gears a little bit, and I was hoping that you could tell me briefly what was living in Bosnia like.
Well, as a kid, I enjoyed to live over there. The country is actually absolutely gorgeous. To go see floods and mountains and rivers and lakes and absolutely beautiful. And we was all friendly with each other. Like I said before, the kids, we would be playing on the weekends when we don't have a Saturday, Sunday school. We all will be getting together and play literally from noontime till midnight.
Yeah. Can you tell me about some of your favorite traditions, from your the Balkan culture?
My favorite tradition is we have in the United States we have a fair in different towns, but over there is something similar. For example, all the little towns, they have a Catholic name day, or even for that matter, Orthodox or different ones. And then people will be going and visit, for example, where I am from, family and friends that they are from other towns and cities. They will be coming to our house that day, and we will be having big meal, and then we will be going out, and they will be fair, and we will have a musician coming at night, and there will be concert and open if it's nice weather. Of course, if it's bad weather, then we'll be inside. But yeah, this will be my favorite.
Okay. What has been your favorite thing about sharing your culture with Isabel and Lorraine?
Well, like I said, it's maybe hard to explain the culture because people don't know. The best way will be to go over there. But culturally, people are very open, very friendly. Lots of young people are speaking Croatian or English or other language, and people are very open.
Mm. And is there anything that like you're able to incorporate from like your Balkan culture into your life in the U.S.?
I incorporate, for example, food and some tradition.
Okay, that's actually my next question. I was going to ask, what are some of your favorite dishes, and like didn't have a specific meaning?
So we have my also favorite is the sarma, which is made with like a sour cabbage but leaves, and then we have mixed, say, beef and pork meat and the rice, and we will be rolling those in this cabbage leaf, and we will be cooking this on the stove, and it's absolutely delicious.
I can agree with that.
Yes, you probably remember.
What do you think is like the most unique thing about Balkan culture?
What is unique about unique is, well, like I said, now or again three like you go to Sarajevo, capital of Bosnia, and you will be seen in one place mosque, church, a Catholic church, Orthodox church, and like a Jewish temple, all next to each other.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then what do you think is the biggest difference between Balkan culture and American culture?
Balkan culture is, I would say we are a little bit more loud, and we love to talk, and when we talk, everybody, if you come over there and you try to catch up with the language and you're not fluent, you will have a hard time because everybody speak over each other. And am I done?
No, it's okay.
Oh, and but people like to get together, and people like, I would say maybe more than here, people like to try to spend time with families and friends and other occasion. But I would say over there, they always find time to celebrate everything.
Wow. Okay, well, that wraps up the interview. I'm going to